Nigeria's natural gas reserve will hit 210 trillion cubic feet by the year 2025 and surge higher to 220 trillion cubic feet by 2030, while crude oil reserves will hit 40 billion barrels. Well, that's a projection from the director of the Department of Petroleum Resources, Sarki Awalu, a forecast based on new and improved measures the agency has put in place, such as the launch of the marginal oil fields and complementary efforts from the crude oil and LNG tracking, as well as checkmating wastage from gas flaring. We have details in this report.
The management of the Department of Petroleum Resources holds this quarterly situation report to update journalists on current oil and gas reserves, among other updates on the performance of the sector despite the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic.
As of 1st January 2020, we have the oil and gas, oil and condensate 2P reserves. For oil, we have 31.418 billion barrels. For condensate, we have 5.476 billion barrels. When you add associated and non-associated gas, we have total volume of 203.16 trillion standard cubic feet of gas.
Projections for the next 5 years are set clear, with a target of natural gas reserve to hit 210 trillion cubic feet by the year 2025 and surge higher to 220 trillion cubic feet by the year 2030.
Targeting bypass accumulation in existing field. We shoot for this and we see some bypass of the accumulation and we want to target it. Deep drilling, because we believe we have a deeper reservoir. So we will drill deeper so that we get advantage of this. We need to have other enablers. So we focus on certain initiatives. What I presented with respect to managing the production, tracking the export and import, business automation, and establishing what we call an enterprise data warehouse for NDR under National Data Repository is one of our key focus.
For the director, the DPR has set its focus on an improved oil recovery center, which aims to cut the cost of production.
And the modalities is we will create a task force within DPR, for this improved oil recovery center. And this task force will drive and enforce the application of these improved oil recovery methods and technologies to increase recovery beyond projection.
The launch of the 2020 marginal oil field acknowledges the high rate of abandoned oil fields, which can become viable assets for smaller oil companies. In a sum, the DPR says it will maintain its strategy as oil prices march higher in recent weeks and demand stabilizes, preparing for both best and worst scenarios as the global lens continues to monitor closely decisions of OPEC and non-OPEC allies to review production cuts.